Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, a very interesting name for the title of the show: Why Whites Deserve Reparations. Um, this is a video topic that I wish I could have gotten into last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it last week because I'm just getting over a cold. Um, I'm still a little sick. You can probably tell by my voice. Excuse me. See, I sound horrible right now. You can probably tell by my voice that I'm not at 100% right now. I'm not at 100%, and that's why I haven't been making content. It's like this last month, making content, and it's just been almost impossible. At first I was on the YouTube ban. I just got out of YouTube jail, and right after I got out of YouTube jail, I got the flu. I don't know if it's the flu. I don't know if it's COVID. It's something like that. It feels like the flu. So I've been really sick lately, and I haven't been able to make content. But today is the first day that I felt the closest to 100% that I felt in a while. And I figured, there's just so many topics going by. I I have to jump in the conversation. You know, Times like this, the voice of woke progressive is needed more than ever. And so we're going to get into the story. But the title of this video is Why Whites Deserve Reparations. Okay. And it's spiraling. This conversation is spiraling from one of the initiatives that Trump proposed. And Trump said that he would begin to stop federal funding and fine colleges that implement these DEI type programs, these programs that uh, push discrimination. These programs are mostly programs that benefit Asian immigrants, Asians and Indians. Okay, so these programs say we don't want the whites, we don't want the blacks. Well, no, I think they probably like the blacks. They say we don't want the whites. We're going to turn away all the capable whites, and we're going to bring in Asians instead, and we're going to bring in black women instead. Black men, we largely don't benefit from all this kind of, especially when we're talking about college. All right, we don't benefit from it. They typically go for black women and Asians and white women. And so Trump said, he passed one of the things he said he do among his first days in office is he pushed to find these colleges, strip them of all of their federal funding, and once he strips them from their federal funding, they're going to go on an individual basis and look at cases where folks were discriminated against. And from those funds that he uses to find these colleges that are pushing the DEI, the discrimination against, people who are actually qualified, that he's going to give those money to the victims of discrimination. I think that people are saying, well, this is reparations for whites. This is reparations for whites. And even though that initiative in and of itself that Trump proposed, even though that in and of itself isn't reparations, I think we should look at giving white people reparations. Look at all of what whites have done for black people since we've been over here. Look at what whites have done for blacks. Let's look at what whites have done for Mexicans. I mean, look at the shithole they have over in Mexico. White people created a beautiful country for Mexicans to come over to illegally, and white people let them come over illegally. White people allowed the Mexicans to come over and make taco trucks. They allowed the Mexicans come over and do Mexican restaurants. White people created a type of capitalism that otherwise would not be available to Mexicans in Mexico. So Mexicans owe whites reparations. Well, why do blacks owe whites reparations? Well, we as blacks, we owe whites reparations because they gave us the NBA, they gave us the NFL, they gave us Oprah Winfrey. So we should at some level say, hey, you know, whites have created a country that's generally pretty good for us. Whites have created, and it's mostly peaceful. No, the United States is a mostly peaceful country, um, except in the black neighborhoods. The parts of this country that aren't peaceful are the parts of the country where that's infected by minorities. You know, you go to these black neighborhoods in Chicago, these black neighborhoods in St. Louis. White neighborhoods are mostly peaceful places to live. So whites have created this country for us. And so what do they get in return? Well, lately, from the Democrats, what whites have gotten in return, uh, no, they've been called racist. They're called Nazis. You know, they're called all of these bad things. But when you think about it, white people, you know, have given us everything that we have. The invention of the cell phone, the invention of the cell phone, the invention of the internet, automobiles, planes, the computer chip, build literally everything we can thank whites for. So if anybody's deserving of reparations, it should be the whites. Okay? Now, am I going to be one of these big proponents for white people getting reparations? No, not really. But if we want to be honest, if anybody's deserving of reparations, it is white people, not blacks. Okay? Blacks, please stop. Black, you know, it gets under my skin that blacks always want to whine and complain and we want this, we got it so hard and we got it harder than everybody else. No, niggas, no, you don't. You don't have it that bad, okay? If you think you got it that bad, go over to Africa. Look how bad the blacks in Africa got it. Look how bad the blacks in Haiti have it, okay? And the blacks, we do have it bad, but you know, we make it bad for ourselves now. We make it bad for our fucking selves by constantly making bad decisions, constantly making bad choices, and then playing the blame game when we make those bad choices. All right. Um, I gotta take a drink, as you can probably hear in my voice right now. I'm just getting over a cold. That's why I haven't been live lately. I'm getting over a cold, and so I'm not feeling 100%. But we'll give me 1 second. All right. So, yeah, the thing is, a lot of blacks are, they're going to say, well, woke, you're being a bit coonish for coming out in favor of white reparations. Why are you not for black reparations? Well, somebody's going to be pushing the reparation argument. Yeah, either way. You know, if Kamala and them would have got elected, they would have been pushing for black reparations. Now that Trump is in office, he's pushing for the white reparations. Now, me, when it comes to this political thing, I'm not a hard left winger and I'm not a hard right winger. I just kind of look at the truth as it is. And so when I'm casting my vote and I'm deciding which devil am I going to go with, okay? The reason I fall on the side of white reparations is because if we're looking at who's deserving of reparations, all right, we have to look at who's contributing more to the country. All right now, okay? So both everybody wants money. Everybody wants the handout, the reparations handout. Who's more deserving of it? Well, if we're looking at the Kamala Harris and their side, it's the black women. Is it what are black women? What are these black bitches doing for the country now? Nothing except whining and complaining and asking something for nothing. Living on Section 8. Hey, bitch, that is your reparations. You know, why don't they look at that as reparations? You know, look at Chicago. Blacks have really already gotten reparations when you think about it. Because look at the projects, look at the food stamps black women get every month. You know, I know some black women, you know, They'll go to the government assistance office and they'll say, "Hey, my kid is retarded, and so therefore I want a check for my kid being retarded every month." And they don't even test the kids or anything. They just hand out checks. They just give the kid a check. That's actually what happens. And so they'll give the kid a check for being rich, and they get this free money every single month. They get the free money every single month, and so because of it, I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. The thing is, people want me to be mad. Not saying people want me, but people want blacks to get mad at Trump pushing for reparations against whites. Well, that's not something that's gonna piss me off. First of all, it's not reparations, all right? It's Trump righting a wrong. If you look at the universities and those how they've been institutional, how they have set up the university institutions for the past decade, maybe 2 decades. These universities have been set up and designed to be anti-white. That's actually true. They've been designed to be anti-white. They've been designed to be anti-God. These universities have been designed to be anti-Christian, anti-male, anti-black male. And so essentially what Trump is doing is coming and he's righting that wrong. He's saying that this culture of anti-whiteness, this culture of anti-God, this culture of being anti-Christian that's been developed throughout, not just the Ivy League universities, but throughout all the universities, this culture of anti-God, being anti-white and all that, it's going to have to change. And you can only change it by hitting them in the pockets, by saying, yes, you'll have to pay off. You won't be able to receive your endowments. Your endowments that you receive will have to be given to victims of this discrimination that you're pushing. I was in college back about 10 years ago. And in college, you're not able to give a conservative viewpoint. If you have a godly Christian viewpoint, you're going to be laughed at in college. They're going to call you stupid in college. You're told this is the lie that's proposed, okay? This is the lie that's proposed in these colleges. When you go to these colleges, they say, "Oh, well, you're going to become smarter in the next 4 years. You're going to be more of a critical thinker in these next 4 years." That's not what the fuck happens in college, okay? You get indoctrinated with feminism, okay? People literally, I've seen people go into colleges. They go into college being a conservative, and they come out a left winger. And the reason that is because these aren't these aren't institutions of learning as they should be. These aren't institutions of education where you're educated. No, you're not educated. You're propagated. You're fed all sorts of liberal propaganda, and you're told history, and you're told these facts from a left wing perspective, and it sways people. It sways people. Why do you think, if you look at the exit polls from this last election, the 2024 election, and you look at one simple demographic, and I wish I could figure out a way to share my screen on here, but I'm not able to do that this video. But if you look at the majority of voters, the college educated voters, or we're not going to call them college educated, we're going to call them college propagated voters, is what they are. The majority of college propagated voters voted for the Democratic Party, voted for Kamala Harris. I think it was something like 60-40. 60-40. Now, the lie that they're going to tell you, "Oh, it's because these people are smarter and the Democrats are smarter." Well, we know that's not fucking true. We know the Democrats aren't smarter. What's smarter about telling a man in a dress that he's actually a woman? What's smarter about that? What's smart about killing an infant at 8 months at an 8 month pregnancy and saying that's not murder? What's smart about that? That's not smart. These are called liars. These are called evil people. Two men getting married, two women getting married, normalizing that, saying it's normal. That makes you smarter. No, that doesn't make you smarter. That makes you evil. Nothing smart about that. Nothing smart about that. And so if you look at the exit polls, the majority of college voters, the majority of college voters, of college educated voters, excuse me, college propagated voters, the majority of them are voting for the Democrats. Why? It's because these quote unquote educational institutions are nothing except propaganda mills. They're propaganda mills. You come in a conservative, you go out a liberal. That's what happens. That's what happens. And so essentially what Trump is doing, Trump is proposing that our educational institutions should no longer be propaganda mills. They should actually be institutions of education. They should be institutions that encourage learning, not encourage propaganda. They should be institutions that teach kids how to think, better ways to think, better ways to come to finding the truth. That's what it should be. An educational institution should be an institution where truth is held up above all, facts are held up above all. However, that is no longer the case. Colleges no longer care about truth. Colleges no longer care about facts. All colleges care about is pushing the agenda, pushing the lie, pushing the agenda. And so, yeah, Trump's way of fixing that is, to give whites reparations, even though it's not really just giving white people reparations. That's not really what Trump is doing. What his goal is to change how the educational institutions work, um, because they've largely been propaganda machines. He also proposed to get rid of the Department of Education. Did you guys see that? Where Trump proposed to get rid of the Department of Education. That would largely be a good thing. I'll tell you about that. Give me 1 second. I need to take a drink. Oh, and what up to people in the chat? I didn't out West Timbo. Woke. I keep telling you, stop talking about my city, Chicago. Look, out West Timbo. We know Chicago is a fucked up city. Okay, Chicago is a fucked up city. They have no morals. Most blacks in Chicago typically don't have any morals. That's why they're always shooting and killing each other, always robbing each other. I lived in Chicago for a short blue moon. Never would live there again. Okay. I got a couple of Chicago stories. One where I almost got robbed. It's not a very safe place. Uh, Black RG, woke. I will always have your back, dude. You, sir, are a treasure. Well, I appreciate that. I don't tend to think of myself as a treasure. I just think I'm someone who tells a truth that not a lot of other people are willing to tell. I'm willing to go against the narrative. Okay, and you have a lot of people here lately. They've been, oh, Trump is giving blacks reparations. Do you feel bad about voting for Trump now? No, I'm glad I voted for Trump now. The fact that Trump is giving white people reparations makes me happy. Makes me even happier that I gave him my vote. It makes me even happier because I think whites deserve reparations for everything they've done for us as people. And you're gonna say they don't deserve anything? No, come on, get out of here. All right, Apothecary J says woke. How's it going? Oh, Ray Mundy, what's going on, Ray? I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on, man? And Enkidoot, what's up? And to anybody else I may have missed, oh, Flow State's here. How's it going, Flow State? Fifth Sage, how's it going? White people are so underappreciated. I agree. White people get a bad rap in this country. Now don't get me wrong. Some whites are really annoying. All right, really. Like these white people at my job, these are some fucked up, autistic, uh, dog-loving white people. Okay, these are not Not like the white people that watch my channel. I got a few white people that watch my channel. But they're nothing like the whites I work with. Okay, the whites I work with are just terrible people. But generally, white people do get a bad rap. They do get a bad rap. Uh, did you guys get it? I was going to talk about something, but I forgot. Did you guys get a chance to see the Mike Tyson fight? Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. Mike Tyson got his ass kicked. Excuse me. But I don't know why Mike Tyson took the fight. Well, I think I do know why he took it. He got $20 million for it, which I think Mike Tyson was already worth more than $100 million. So he really didn't need the extra 20 million. So I don't know why he took the fight. But he took it mostly because I think he wanted to help out Jake Paul with Jake Paul's career. Uh, but I don't know. Looking at the fight, it obviously was staged. Right? They weren't doing a real. They weren't actually going at each other like I thought they would. Because the thing is, Iron Mike, back in the day, he was a great fighter, and he probably was unbeatable back in his time. But we all age, okay? Me, I'm 30 years old. I was probably a little bit stronger, probably a little bit faster 10 years ago. So, I mean, regardless of how powerful you are at your zenith, at the zenith of your career, at the peak of your athletic prowess, regardless of how strong you are, age gets. We can't fight time. Okay, at least we haven't invented a pill that you can take that automatically keeps you at your peak. It just doesn't happen. We haven't invented time machines yet. And so, with Mike Tyson being a 50-something-year-old man fighting a 27-year-old trained fighter, I was actually worried about Mike Tyson at first. I wanted to make a video and encourage and beg Mike Tyson, don't you get in the ring fighting this white boy. You're gonna get a concussion, all kind of CTE, brain injuries, and all that kind of shit. I would have told Iron Mike not to do it. Okay, because it's but the thing with Mike Tyson is, I like Mike Tyson, but he's a black fool. He's a black fool. You could he's slow. And I think white people like people like Mike Tyson. They like a good, slow black person. Okay. And I know I might lose a lot of people when I say this, but white people like a good, slow black dummy like Mike Tyson because they can control him. Okay. Because a black man with some sense would have said, look, I'm 50 something years old. I can't be getting in the ring, getting my ass kicked. That's what I would have said if I was Mike Tyson and I've got some sense. The white folks would have came to me and said, hey, whoa, um, go fight Jake Paul. I would have been like, who the fuck is Jake Paul? Oh, man, he's this young kid. He wants to blah, 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 blah. But, man, no, I don't want to risk getting a head injury at 50-something years old. Look, I can't afford to do that. I'm already a millionaire. I have everything I want. There is literally no upside. I've already made a legacy for myself. There is literally no upside to Mike Tyson getting in the ring to fight with Jake Paul. But if you're a black dummy like Mike Tyson, I like Mike Tyson, but he's a black dummy. If you're a black dummy, this is what he said. Hey, yeah, man, I get in that ring and I fight his ass. I'll fight his ass. Yeah, we're gonna get in the ring and we're gonna fight his ass. And he did it. And did you see that one clip where he had his Bucci cat out? Excuse me. I just think that's a funny word. I heard Tariq Nasheed say that. Oh, excuse me, guys. Did you see that one part? Mike Tyson had his ass out. I think it was right after the fight, or maybe right before that. I don't know. But Mike Tyson had his ass out. He had on like a what's it called, a jock strap with his booty cheeks out, and I don't know. I just thought that was just kind of a funny. sideshow. But whoa, did you see Mike Tyson walking around showing his butt cheeks? Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I was just talking about, Ben Garcia. Mm, someone says, I mean, that's why we watch Jimmy. Yeah, white people like a good black dummy, man. And I mean, maybe I should dumb myself down. You know, maybe I should dumb myself down so I can get a white audience. I don't know what that is. He makes a great point, bite size Jimmy clips, where that's a great point. Jimmy, that dumb motherfucker Jimmy, they love his channel. Why is that? Well, he's kind of like Mike Tyson. Not nearly as talented. Not nearly as Jimmy isn't nearly as talented as Mike Tyson. But you know, he's just as dumb. Now Mike Tyson has a reason to be dumb. I mean, if you've been Mike Tyson has been fighting since a kid. So if you've been getting hit upside the head since you were like 5 or 6 years old, just constantly just being whopped upside the head, mollywopped, slammed on the ground, then it's not beyond reason that you're gonna have some type of head injury, some type of traumatic brain injury, to where you're not able to think on your feet, or you're not gonna be a quick thinker. You're not gonna you're gonna be kind of slow from the brain injuries. So Mike Tyson has an excuse. Jimmy does not have an excuse to be as dumb as he is. That's a choice. Mike Tyson doesn't have a choice. Jimmy absolutely has a choice in his stupidity. He just chooses to be stupid. He chooses to be stupid. It goes into black culture, and I've made this point before about Jimmy, and I don't mean to get sidetracked. Um, it goes back into black culture. How what I hate about black culture, it's like our culture rewards the dumbest among us. You know how in white culture, who does white culture reward? People like Elon Musk. All right, Elon Musk, who's fucking brilliant. He sent a rocket ship into outer space and landed it back on some really tall toothpicks. I mean, the shit was fucking amazing. Like, white people reward that. Now, now Elon Musk is a little bit socially awkward. You've seen interviews of Elon Musk, clearly kind of a socially awkward dude. But he's accepted in white circles as the genius he is because he's a genius. White people value intelligence. Now, juxtapose that to blacks. All right. Can you imagine how hard a black Elon Musk would have it? He would be called all kind of pussy ass niggas. He get called all kind of coons. Nigga, what you sending rockets in the sky for? Nigga, your dumb ass ain't never gonna go to Mars. That's that's what the black Elon Musk would have to deal with. The black Elon Musk would be told, nigga, you weird. Nigga, you ain't getting no pussy. Oh, nigga, I bet you don't know how much weed. You know, just stupid shit. Nigga, where your guns at, nigga? The black Elon Musk, black people will be telling him to shoot up Mars, do drive-bys on the moon. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, a black Elon, we need to change the culture because you have black people who could be as intelligent as Elon Musk, but they never discover that type of creative prowess. They never get into it. Why? Because they're not encouraged to. They're encouraged to, instead of being intelligent, instead of figure out shit, instead of learning shit, they're told, oh yeah, nigga, go do something stupid. Go listen to rap music. Put your mind and time into things that are just really unproductive. Go smoke some weed. Go smoke some pot, nigga. Go sell some drugs. Let's learn about guns. What they call them? What they have switches. They call them switches now. Nigga, let's go get some switches and let's use that intelligence for nefarious purposes. And that's looked at as cool. Now, in every culture, You have your subset of criminals. You have your subset of white criminals. You have your subset of Chinese criminals. And so this isn't to say that no that ethnic group that no this isn't to say that there's an ethnic group that doesn't have their own stupid subset of people. Everybody does. But the problem with blacks is, whereas in other ethnicities, these people are a subset. These in what I mean by that is, these people are shoved into the closet and said, "Get your criminal asses out of here." That's what happens with, and they're shamed. With blacks, it's like we put our criminal elements to the front. We applaud them. And this is one reason why I hated Kamala Harris. This is one reason why I'm glad I voted for Donald Trump. Look at what, if you don't believe me, look at what Kamala Harris did during her campaign. She didn't get intelligent black people to come out and speak for her. Literally, literally. She didn't get intelligent black people to come out and speak for her. At her rallies, she got big fat Meg the Stallion, big fat Lizzo to come out on stage and just make a mockery out of black people up there talking about twerking, up there talking about pussy. Meg the Stallion, literally at a Kamala Harris campaign rally, up there talking about body yaddy yaddy yaddy, body yaddy yaddy yaddy, shit like that. Okay, this is what we praise in black culture. This is what we elevate. And so this is why the black Elon Musk, while we won't see him, the black Elon Musk, he's out there somewhere, but he's being bullied. He's being told that instead of being a scientist, he should be a crip. He's being told that instead of pursuing an education, he should be selling drugs. Okay. And so until blacks learn how to create a culture that rewards, and excuse me, my nose is running right now. Until we create a culture that learns to reward good behaviors instead of bad behaviors, we're gonna keep falling in this trap. Another problem with this is, this is where we're gonna get on black women. Black women, because they've been propagandized to reward bad behavior. So whenever they're ready to procreate, they're not gonna look for the Elon Musk. Look at Elon Musk has like 10 kids. All right. And that means he has 10 more potential Elon Musks, okay, which is 10 more geniuses to be created. Blacks do the same thing, just on the opposite side of the spectrum. So you'll get a black woman, and she's like, who am I going to procreate with? Is she going to procreate with the scientist? No. Is she going to procreate with the lawyer? No. Is she going to procreate with the police officer? No. Who is this bitch gonna procreate with? Well, this bitch is gonna procreate with the drug dealer, okay? Which is the last thing that we need. She's gonna procreate with the criminal. She's gonna procreate with the Jimmy. And when they do it, they they do it like jackrabbits, okay? So she'll have one little drug dealer, and then she'll say, one is not enough. Then she'll have like 10 more by 10 other drug dealers, and before you know it, we have a drug dealer problem in the black community. Why? Because the black kid that was actually smart, the black kid that's actually studying, he's not worried about it, having 10, 15 fucking babies, right? He's actually putting his mind and resources towards things that are good for him, that are good for him. And so we got to stop that in the black community. We do. And we do that. We got to shut down the rap music, because the rap music is probably the most. It's probably the most influential, destructive thing that we have going in our community. It's influential and very destructive, because most of the rap music that we listen to, when I talk about the rewarding of bad behaviors, most of the rap music nowadays is you know, rewarding a lot of those bad behaviors. It's glorifying a lot of the bad behaviors that I'm talking about. So it's a bad thing. Ain't no women having kids with Jimmy. I mean, he could find, you know, one of these. The thing with Jimmy is, as degenerate as he is, I think Jimmy may even be a little bit degenerate, even for most blacks. It's funny to say, unless he started selling. I don't know. He's got guns. If he started selling drugs, because black women like that. Black women love a good drug dealer, nigga. All right, and I don't know why that is. But I think if he started selling drugs and started making easy money, that's what it is. Black women like men who can, you know, make the easiest money doing illegal things. And so if he started doing scams and selling drugs, you know, he could find some black woman that would give him some pussy. And you know what I'm realizing now? It's become so infectious. Black culture has become so infectious. It's so bad. It's actually started affecting whites now. I see a lot of wiggers. I call them wiggers. You know, white people who act like, I can't say the word. I don't want to get kicked off. But, you know, it's become so bad. You see a lot of white people, especially white women, going around acting like black women. Have you guys noticed that? Especially on like Instagram and Snapchat and all that. You'll see the white women doing the duck lips and shit, sticking their butts out. You're like, what the fuck is happening to white women? Yeah, you know, white women. I used to think white people had a shot. I'm like, well, white people at least got a shot. But now you see the white women doing the duck lips. I saw one white woman, hey girl, what the fuck is happening to white women? White women used to have sense. White women going to the clubs, you know, talking with, you know, that black accent. You know how blacks talk. You see white women talking like that now, and you're like, whoa, like getting tattoos and shit. I remember back when I was growing up, white women didn't get tattoos. Okay, women, period, didn't get tattoos when I was growing up. You know, when I was growing up, women didn't get tattoos. It was looked at as unwomanly. But now you got the white women getting the tattoos. You got the white women doing the duck lips. You got the white women sticking their asses out. You got the white women twerking. And it's because, you know, the degeneracy that we see prevalent throughout black culture, it's infectious. It truly is infectious. And it's now infected whites. Excuse me, guys. I've been dreadfully sick the last few days. There was one day I just wasn't even able to get out of bed. Now I'm at work. I'm feeling a little bit better. A little bit better. But not too much better. Let's look at some of the comments. This Nooka must be Bubble Boy or something. What do you mean by that? Have you talked about Cyber losing the RBR network channel? He only has the RBR's women's channel now. Oh well, that's certainly a good thing. That's certainly a good thing. I haven't talked about it. I haven't honestly. I haven't even looked at anything related to Cyber. You know, I think at this point we should just let him drown in his own obscurity. Nobody's checking for him. Nobody cares about him. I was a bit rattled up when he initially pulled that stunt of deleting RBR's channel. But at this point, the damage is done. And so I'm glad to hear, you know, the main channel got deleted. Fuck Cyber. Fuck Cyber. You know, I used to make videos about it and talk shit about him. But I think at this point, don't give him any more clout than he deserves. Let him drown in his own obscurity. And, yeah, good. Yeah, let him drown in his own obscurity. Nice. Winter reparations set to roll through. I don't know. I, I'm referring to the video that Trump made about colleges. in the propaganda mills that colleges have become. They really have become propaganda mills. And like I was saying earlier, when I went to college 10 years ago, even back then, if you had conservative values, if you believed in God, if you had Christian values, for example, if you were against homosexuality, you'd be laughed out of the classroom. You'd be called some type of a bigot. You'd be called some type of a racist. I don't see how you can be a racist if you hate gay people. That doesn't have any. But you're gonna be called a racist. You're gonna be called a bigot, a white. I hate gay people, but that makes me a white supremacist because I hate gay people. They'll say things like that, and so Trump has proposed that we stop all this pushing of DEI in colleges, which is good because you saw black women getting college degrees at a monumental rate. And a lot of people would say, oh, that's good that black women are getting their educations. And I'm one of the only people who saw this as a bad thing, black women getting college degrees. Because why is that? It doesn't mean that black women are smarter, okay? Now, come on, y'all. We've seen these black women on Instagram, Facebook, all Snapchat, all social media. Anyone who's really going to sit here and say black women are smarter, you're just not being honest, okay? I'm not going to go too much into it, but come on, you're just not being fucking honest. So we know black women aren't actually smarter, but black women are getting these college degrees at monumental rates. What does it mean? Well, what it actually means is black women are being propagandized at a higher rate, at a faster rate than other groups. And that's why you saw so many black women willing to vote for Kamala Harris. In every single ethnic group, whether it's black men, Latino men, Asian men, whoever, every single other ethnic group, numbers went a little bit farther in favor of Trump. Okay, black men in 2020, the election of 2020, I think we went 10% in favor of Trump. Fast forward to this election, we went almost 20% in favor of Trump. He doubled his support amongst black men. With Latino men, they also made monumental strides voting for Trump. More than half of Latino men voted in favor of Trump. But if you white women, more than half of them voted in favor of Trump. So other groups understood the assignment, but black women, with all of their college degrees, black women, in their infinite wisdom, voted 90%, over 90% in favor of Kamala Harris, which is dumb, which is dumb. Black women or black people in general are the only ethnic group that's dumb enough to sit here and willingly, year after year after year, see no type of change, no type of real solutions coming from the Democratic Party, but we still stupidly vote for this party year after year after year after year. I could see in the early 1960s when the Democrats, claimed to be for civil rights for blacks and all that, and I could see us falling for it back then. But that was what, 70 years ago? After 70 years, we're still not seeing any solutions. Black men, we're starting to wake up after 70 fucking years. We're waking up and we're starting to get it. But black women, because black women have been institutionalized, getting these college degrees, and DEI, it's DEI because, like I said, we know the black women, we see them on social media. Right? We know that they're not the real thought leaders of America. Okay, they're getting them. They're handing them these degrees. They're being propagandized, and once they get these degrees, they're told that abortion is okay. They're told that homosexuality is okay. They're told that, oh, I'm a woman, hear me roar. You ain't got to take no shit from no man. They're told to travel all over the place, have sex with multiple men, That's why you see a lot of these black women doing a lot of traveling, a lot of traveling. They're going out having sex with a bunch of different men, having babies out of wedlock, not getting married, not submitting to male authority because they're told they don't have to do this once they go to college. That's what the fuck they're told, and it's a lie. It's a lie. So, college, the educational institution, excuse me for that, I had to blow my nose, but college has largely been used as a propaganda machine. And they put these black women in, they send them out propagated, and it's bad for black men. What Trump is pushing to change. Trump is pushing the change of saying we're gonna stop colleges from being, these propaganda mills. We're gonna actually make them institutions that promote education, that promote free thinking, and and we're gonna do that by stopping these colleges from pushing propaganda. That's how we're gonna do it. And so that's largely a good thing. That's largely a good thing. All right, look at this dumb black coon. We need more ice spices, and this is the difference between blacks. This is why white men outdo black men all the time. All the time, white men are destroying black men because a white man will say, "Ew, we don't need more Britney Spearses. We don't need more we don't need more of these degenerate female type singers, these degenerate female type influences fucking up our culture." And that's what the white men say. Hell no, we don't want it because we value intelligence. We reward intelligence. What do black men say? Well, black men say what Hooded want to say now. Black men want more of the degenerate females. He wants more of the degeneracy. He wants to reward a woman like Ice Spice instead of setting her on the straight and narrow. He wants her to continue on this destructive path because the black man doesn't think about how his actions have consequences, have how his actions have cultural impacts. Black people don't think about cultural impacts. They just don't. They don't think about how the world works on a macro level. That's why blacks largely don't care about the immigration issue. If somebody like Hooded One will say, "Yeah, let all the Mexicans come over and fuck up our culture and ruin the economy." This nigga doesn't care about the culture. He doesn't care about the economy. He just doesn't. It takes a bunch of good white people to say, "No, we can't have these Mexicans coming over here like this." Not because they hate the Mexicans. It doesn't have anything to do with hatred towards anybody. But we understand that if we have this high number of immigrants coming over, it's inevitably going to lead to problems here culturally. It's going to lead to problems here in the economy. Somebody's going to have to take care of these immigrants. Somebody's going to have to take care of the children of these immigrants. That's going to take away resources from America and regular Americans. And we can't have that. Black people like Hooded One don't think about that. They don't care about that. As long as they can get quote unquote a big booty bitch, that's most black men. As long as they can get a big booty bitch, to hell with the culture. Most black men are willing to sell out the entire race. Most black men are willing to sell out the entire country for a big booty bitch. And I mean that. I mean that. Most black men are willing to sell out the entire fucking country for a big booty bitch. How disgusting is that? How disgusting is that? Here he is. Fuck autonomy. Fuck America. That's what he's saying. He's saying fuck the country. Fuck the black race. Fuck it. Just give me a big booty bitch. Give me Iggy Azalea. Give me Kelly Rowlands. Give me some Mexicans. Look, I told you, I'm not making this up. He's willing to let this country go to hell in a handbasket as long as he can get a piece of pussy. Ain't that fucked up? Tell me that's not fucked up. Yeah, he's willing to sell out the entire country for a piece of pussy. Get the fuck out of here, hooded one. Get the fuck out of here. It's like Jimmy thinking the Mexicans are his brothers. They don't give a fuck about us and will turn on brothers the moment they are no longer useful to them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Um, I don't look at. I think that's the problem with it. You know, a lot of people's thinking. You know, a lot of black people's thinking. We try to ally with all these other groups. You know, we'll try to ally with whites. We might try to ally with Mexicans, and I don't think that's the path to go. Even though you shouldn't hate whites, you should, be as friendly and cordial with whites as possible. You should be as friendly and cordial with Mexicans as possible. You should be friendly and cordial with people on an individual level. You just should. But don't mistake that being friendly and being cordial with a Mexican being your ally. No, I can only be allies with other black people, and that sounds racist, but I'm not gonna say that. I would rather, if I had to pick the perfect ally, it would be another black person who grew up in similar economic circumstances, who grew up in, who thinks like me, who thinks like me, and maybe they can be my ally. But then again, you say an ally for what? Okay. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, don't think like Hooded One. The thing is, the reason it's hard for me to say I can ally with black people, because, I mean, look at black people like Hooded One. Hooded One is willing to sell out the entire race. I mean, could you imagine being an ally with somebody like Hooded One if you actually strategized a way to actually, you know, fix America in some type of way, or if you actually came up with some type of viable solution with somebody like Hooded One? Hooded One would fuck up the entire plans because all the enemy would have to do is bring about some pussy, and Hooded One would sell you out in a second. All right. Arguably, white and black Americans have more in common than with Hispanics. Uh, yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah, that's true. I say, yeah, it depends on I say it really depends, but I say generally, yeah, that's true. Generally, especially if you're talking about a black person and a white person that's both from the South. Yeah, I have a lot in common, with whites from the South. So yeah, that's actually true. So what we've been live for about an hour now. I don't know if I'm gonna open the link on this show. Just because I'm not feeling 100%. And I know sometimes, people like AP come up and he'll cuss and he'll fight. Typical black male shit. Black males, for some reason, they love to err on the side of not controversy, that ain't the word for it, of arguing. They love to be argumentative. And it's probably because they were raised by their single mother. Because you see, that's a black female trait, an angry black female trait, not all black women. Because a woman is supposed to be submissive. A woman is supposed to be, non-argumentative. And a woman is supposed to be, err on the side of being quiet and, shutting up. But um, black women, black women don't do this. Black women don't tend to do this. Black women tend to, have these attitudes. They tend to be angry, and I'm gonna go off on your ass. You hear them say that all the time, and that's why most of them don't have men. They don't have men because a black man will fuck women like this. We should really stop fucking women like this. But a black man will fuck a woman like that. But when it comes to making a lifetime commitment with her, absolutely, they just don't do it. Even black men are not that stupid. And so that leaves these angry, loudmouth women to raise the children by herself. And if you think she's an angry, loudmouth, you know what, out in public, just imagine what she is behind closed doors. So they end up raising these AP ass niggas who, when his being taught communication skills, because my mom would do this. She'd say, obviously my name isn't woke, but I don't feel, well, Jalen, that's my real name. My mom would say, hey, Jalen. She called me Jay. She'd say, hey, Jay, can you make up your bed and get your clothes out of the dryer and fold them up? And I'd say, okay, mama, I'll do that. Give me 1 second. And that would be the interaction. Now, if you're raised by an angry single mother, what is she gonna say? She gonna say, hey, didn't I tell you to make up that motherfucking bed and get this shit out the dryer? I'm so sick of this shit. I'm always dealing with y'all shit. You motherfuckers. I've seen the motherfuckers do it. I've seen them do it. I'm not making this up. And when I was growing up, my mom would never talk to me that way. We never communicate. I've never heard my mom cuss. Like, we never communicated like that in my house. But the type of environment that AP grew up in, if you bitch ass nigga, you better do this. Nigga did not tell you to make up that motherfucking bed. Nigga did not tell you to fold them motherfucking clothes. And that's how they communicate. And you see that because in the public school system, the black kids are just so aggressive. They're just so aggressive and loud and cussing and all that. It's sad. It's sad. All right, Blake RG says, you do you, buddy. Just don't ever change. Uh, I'm not sure what he's referring to, but I'll be sure to never change. I'll be sure to never change. Cyber told another lie, said he is going to delete the channel. Yeah, fuck Cyber. Fuck him. Fuck him. But I think that's gonna be it, guys. I think that's gonna be it. I think we had a great live. Um, I think we talked enough about whites, why whites deserve the reparations. And I've got to take some cold medicine. I've got to get back to 100%. I would let the link open. I would open up the link, but like I said, today I'm just not feeling good. I haven't went live in a few days, so I just thought, I'd go live now. But once I'm back at 100%, we'll do this again because I really want to talk more about this topic of whites getting reparations. Yeah, I think that would be a great video topic. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay woke.